Have you ever found yourself trapped in that dreaded moment? You're chatting with someone new, you've tossed out the usual, "Hi, how's it going?" and "What do you do?" And then, bam, silence. Awkward, painful silence. Your brain freezes, your palms sweat, and all you can think is, why didn't I prepare a script for this? Or maybe you're at a party watching everyone else laugh and connect while you're stuck on the sidelines, nodding along like a bobblehead, pretending to check your phone. Trust me, I've been there. As someone who used to crumble under social anxiety, I know the struggle all too well. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay stuck. Social skills aren't some mystical gift. You can learn them, and I'm about to show you how to never run out of things to say while becoming the kind of person everyone wants to talk to. In this guide, I'm sharing 3 game-changing techniques that'll transform you from awkward silence generator to social superstar. These aren't just random tips, they're practical, proven methods I've tested through years of trial and error, from fumbling conversations at work to cracking jokes with strangers at bars. Whether you're trying to impress a coworker, bond with a new friend, or just survive small talk without wanting to bolt, these tricks will have you covered. Ready to level up your social game? Let's dive in. 1. Master active listening. The secret sauce of endless conversations. Here's a common myth. To be good at talking, you need to say more. Wrong. The real magic happens when you listen. While you're mentally planning your grocery list but active listening, paying full attention to what the other person is saying and digging into it like a detective. Every sentence they drop is a goldmine of potential topics, and your job is to mine it. Imagine someone says, "I went golfing over the weekend." Instead of replying with a lame, "Oh, cool," and letting the convo flatline, ask something intentional. Where do you usually play? How long have you been into golf? Now you've got a thread to pull. They might say, "Oh, I've been playing for 5 years at this course near my house." Then you follow up. 5 years? Are you secretly a pro? Do you play with friends or solo? See how easy that flows? I used to freeze in these moments, but once I started listening, really listening, my brain kicked into gear. Take my buddy who said, "I cut my hand fixing my car last weekend." Instead of nodding and moving on, I asked, "What kind of car? Did you fix it yourself?" We ended up talking for 30 minutes about engines, weekend hobbies, and even his dream road trip. Active listening is like a cheat code. It keeps the conversation alive and makes the other person feel heard. Try it next time and watch how many doors it opens. 2. Find common ground. The spark that ignites connection. Ever notice how you instantly click with someone who loves the same stuff you do? That's the power of common ground. It's not about forcing a deep debate on quantum physics, unless you're both nerds for that. It's about spotting little overlaps that light up the chat. The trick is to probe gently until you hit that sweet spot. Say someone mentions they like movies. Don't just say, "Me too," and call it a day. Ask, "What's your go-to genre?" "I'm obsessed with thrillers. Any favorites?" Or if they say, "I traveled to London last year," you could respond, "No way, I've been dying to go. What was your favorite part?" Even if you've never been, you can pivot. "I love traveling too. What's the best trip you've ever taken?" I once met a distant cousin at a wedding who seemed super quiet. I asked a few questions and found out he was into psychology. I jumped in. "I've been reading this book on human behavior. Do you have any recommendations?" We ended up geeking out for an hour, and suddenly the table was alive with chatter. Finding common ground is like planting a seed. Once it takes root, the conversation grows on its own. Keep digging, and you'll strike gold. 3. Ditch the perfect filter. Be real, be likable. Here's a truth bomb. Most of us clam up because we're terrified of sounding dumb or boring. We filter every word, asking ourselves, is this clever enough? Will they think I'm cool? Spoiler alert, nobody cares as much as you think. People are too busy wrestling with their own insecurities to judge your every syllable. So drop the filter and let the real you shine. There's even science to back this up. It's called the pratfall effect. Studies show that people like you more when you're not flawless. Admit a goofy mistake or share a quirky thought and you'll seem human, not intimidating. Once, chatting with a coworker, I said, "I was supposed to hike this weekend, but I overslept and binged Netflix instead." He laughed and admitted, "Dude, I do that all the time." That little slip-up bonded us way more than any polished small talk ever could. Don't overthink it. Crack a silly joke, share a random story, or ask something offbeat like, "How tall are you anyway?" Trust me, it works if you're curious. Being real doesn't mean spilling your deepest secrets. It's about letting go of the need to impress. 9 times out of 10, people will love it and open up too. Bonus tip, embrace the silence. Yes, really. Even with these tricks, sometimes the convo just dies. Maybe they're not in the mood or you two don't vibe, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. Silence isn't the end of the world, it's just a pause. I used to panic in those moments, but now I smile, shrug, and either switch gears. So, what's your weekend look like? Or gracefully exit. Cool chatting. Catch you later. The truth is, not every chat will be a home run. Some people aren't great talkers and others just don't click with you. Let it go. Like I tell myself, don't water a dead plant. Focus your energy on the talks that flow, and you'll be golden. Putting it all together, your social superpower. So here's your toolkit. Listen actively. Turn their words into a treasure map of topics. Find common ground. Connect over anything from coffee to travel. Be unfiltered and real. Let your quirks shine. Perfection is overrated. Listening gives you material, common ground builds the bridge, and authenticity seals the deal. Plus, the occasional blunder triggers the pratfall effect, making you more likable and giving you even more to talk about. It's a cycle that only gets easier. Next time you're in a social setting, test this out. Chat with someone for 10 minutes using these steps, and I bet you'll be shocked at how effortless it feels. You've got this. Go own that room.